Hello, hello, and welcome to today's video. My name is Jeanetta Garrison. I am a licensed therapist, public speaker, and mental health educator. I am also a certified anxiety treatment professional and an EMDR therapist based in North Carolina, licensed to support residents of both North Carolina and Florida. In today's video, we're going to discuss how to find a therapist. Finding a therapist can be challenging. It can be really hard. Finding the right therapist for you can be really hard. And so I'm making this video to help with that process. So I'll share a few tips and practical tips and strategies on finding a therapist that you can be able to start to work with. So number one, the first place people usually start would be Google. People usually start Google. They start with search engines. But before you jump into a search engine, before you jump into Google and start Googling therapists near me, therapists nearby, it's important for you to think about what are the areas of concern that you would like to address in therapy. Because that will give you the search terms that will make your search more productive. So for example, I'm an EMDR therapist, right? So if someone was looking for an EMDR therapist, they would type in EMDR therapist near me, EMDR therapist plus your city. If you type in EMDR therapist Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm gonna pop up. If you type in anxiety therapist, Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm going to pop up, right? And so if you're familiar with SEO and how all that works, then, basically SEO, search engine optimization, is something that businesses, therapists, myself included, do for our website. We do on our website so that when people are searching these different terms, my website will pop up, right? So as I mentioned, if you search EMDR therapy, anxiety therapy, my website's gonna pop up, right? So the next tip is to ask people that you trust. Have you heard a coworker, a friend, a relative mentioning that they have gone to therapy? Ask them about their experience. Ask them if they could recommend their therapist. Ask them how they found their therapist. Ask people that you trust. If someone has had a great experience in therapy, they will probably be more than willing to you. So again, ask people that you trust. Let's see. Next tip is your therapist directories. So there are several therapist directories, and as a therapist, I'm enmeshed in this world, so I'm familiar with several therapist directories. I'm listed in a few therapist directories. There are new ones that come up periodically, over time. So at the time of this recording, I am listed in 2 therapy directories. I'm listed in therapyforblackgirls.com. I'm also listed in psychologytoday.com. So essentially what a therapist directory, it's a hub, it's a place where all of these different therapists list themselves, they list their business, their practice. They also indicate their specialty, their location, the areas of concern that they work with, or target populations, things like that. And you as a visitor, you go to the website, you enter what you need into the search engine, into the search feature, and it'll pop up with a list of therapists that fit that criteria. So this tip kind of also goes along with that first the first tip of Google is knowing what you're looking for, right? So if you know that you're looking for say, a Black therapist, you might want to check out Therapy for Black Girls. If you know that you are looking for, say, a couples therapist, when you type in the search bar you type in couples therapy, right, plus your city or your state, and it'll bring up people, therapists that fit that criteria that you're looking for. Really quickly, be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. This will help you be notified whenever I post a new video. Periodically, I go live on this channel. And if you subscribe and turn on the notification bell, then you will be notified whenever I go live. Also, be sure to give this video a like if you like it. That helps me to know that the information that I'm presenting is actually helpful and beneficial. And it helps me, of course, I want to make sure that I'm being helpful in the information that I put out there. So if you decide to give it a like, that's the best way that I will know. Or you can also just leave me a comment and let me know. So we cover Google, ask people that you trust, therapist directories. The next tip for looking for a therapist is through your employer. Many employers have an EAP, which is Employee Assistance Program. So many employers have an EAP set up for their employees. Basically, it's a benefit. It's a benefit that's there. And typically the way that EAPs work is they offer a set amount of usually free, sometimes low cost, but usually free therapy sessions per employee, either per year or per the duration of the time that you're employed there, or per quote unquote problem. They're all set up a little bit differently, but the best way to learn about whether or not your company has an EAP set up and also learn about like the ins and outs of the EAP is to check with your HR department, check with human resources. Next tip, check for, visit Military OneSource. Military OneSource is a resource for service members, for military service members, active duty, reserve, and retired, as well as their dependents. I used to work as a counselor for the military, and I provided therapeutic support, mental health support for active duty U.S. military all around the world. So that's a little tangent, but the job took me to different military bases all around the world. So, for example, I lived on Guam. That was my very first assignment at the naval station at the air base in Guam. I was also assigned to different bases in Germany, in Italy, in the DC, Virginia area, just different places. So anyhow, I'm civilian. I'm not military myself, but I worked as a civilian contractor for this company. And so Military OneSource is essentially a hub, and you'll be able to find information regarding mental health benefits and any other type of benefit or resource that you may need as a service member, active duty, retired, reserve, or dependent. Okay. So again, that's one that you may not be familiar with, but it's a resource. It's there and it's completely free. That's the other thing. It's completely free. So I hope that this video was helpful. If you are interested in learning how to work with me, again, my specialty is working with high achieving professionals. My specialty is helping high achieving professionals learn to calm their brain and body so that they can live fulfilling lives without anxiety getting in the way. You can visit my website, crowncounselingandconsulting.com. You can also scan the QR code here. There it is. You can scan the QR code there and that will take you directly to my website. Once you get to my website, you can either schedule a free consultation to work with me. There's also a free resource that I created. It's called an anxiety relief checklist. That is, it's completely free. It's composed of 10 practical tips that will help a person relieve stress and anxiety starting today. There's a banner at the top of the website. You just click free anxiety relief checklist, click it, and it's yours. So stay tuned for my next video where I will talk about the best time. When is it time? How do you know? How do you know when it's time to contact the therapist? Again, thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.